Hello there, it's the 22nd day of May 2024. Good evening and welcome to the 1800 News Bulletin on Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. We are coming to you live from our studio here at the 32nd Gamel Abdonazil Avenue here in Osu. Across the board, we are streaming live on our Facebook feed at Radio GIJ. You can also get all the developing stories on Radio GIJ online. Do well to remember your thoughts are welcome. My name is Ramat Bashiru. Now in the headlines, seek professional psychological help from licensed medical professionals and trained counselors. Dr. Isaac urges Cocoa Board terminates scholarship scheme. Brian A. Champon denies conflict of interest in the purchase of 60% SNIT stake in hotels. In business, over 400 million liters of fuel are estimated to risk of being transported from the various petroleum loading terminals nationwide. In the world of sports, Chelsea players are sad and disappointed with the club's decision on Pochettino. In entertainment, Kung Fu Kwade needs money for treatment. Family members disclose. We have details of these and other stories coming up in the next 30 minutes. Please do stay. Now the news in details. The director of the University of Professional Studies, Accra Medical Directorate, Dr. Isaac Atta, has encouraged students to seek professional psychological help from licensed medical professionals and trained counselors. According to him, although some students may offer support, they are not substitute for qualified experts and should not be relied on for mental health guidance. Speaking in an interview on Morning Dew earlier this morning, he explained further.
Get to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Get to meet a professional.
Right.
As for professionals, they are going to be very professional about whatever is happening to you. It's a health issue and you need professional assistance. So instead of going to talk to friends who may not understand you or even laugh at you, just get them to talk to the professional.
Right.
You can walk into any hospital, right? And some schools, I'm sure you can fix things yourself. You are old enough to solve it yourself. It's not that simple. So we should have that culture of seeking help. Seeking help from the right.
That was the director of the University of Professional Studies, Accra.
You're listening to Radio GIJ 97.
The director of the University of Professional Studies, Accra Medical Directorate, Dr. Isaac Atta, you heard. Now, in a related story, Counselor of the University of Media, Arts and Communication, Institute of Journalism, Godfred Osei, has advised students of the institute to recommend the counseling unit to students who face emotional challenges. Now, according to him, time and physical restraint has impeded the full impact of the unit. He spoke some more to our reporter, Kezia Anand.
We will not always get to know or get to meet all the students all the time. Students spend time with themselves. When you are with your friends, you know what your friends are going through. When a friend is going through something that you think the person needs psychological assistance, it is not everybody who knows where to get help. The few of us who know where help is, let's direct our colleagues to where they can get help. We are with them in the hostels, the dormitories, the rented apartment, whatever it is. You know what they are going through, but you decide to, if the person suddenly falls sick of malaria, you would recommend that the person should go to the hospital. But if the person loses the parent or something emotionally is wrong with the person, you do not recommend the help of a psychologist to the person. So largely it is from the student. Recommend help to your friends who need it, and it will help us all.
That was the counselor of the University of Media Arts and Communication Institute of Journalism, Councillor Godfred Osei, you heard. Away from that, the Ghana Cocoa Board has announced the termination of its long-running scholarship scheme. They cited the implementation of the Free Senior High School initiative by the government as a cause of that initiative. Chairperson of Cocoa Board, Peter McMahon, announced the board's decision to establish the Cocoa Board Education Trust aimed at providing essential primary school infrastructure in undeserved cocoa growing communities. Please listen.
As we bid farewell to scholarship scheme, we must look forward and prioritize the continued educational advancement of cocoa farming communities. It is with this vision in mind that the Board of Directors has decided to establish the Ghana Cocoa Board Education Trust. This trust is a testament of our unwavering commitment to the well-being and prosperity of our cocoa farmers and their children. The primary objective of the Education Trust is clear: to focus on providing essential primary school infrastructure in underserved cocoa growing areas. By investing in the educational foundations of these communities, we aim to create a lasting impact that will benefit generations to come. In conclusion, I urge all stakeholders to rally behind this new initiative.
That was the chairman of Cocoa Board, Peter McMahon, you heard. Away from that, a joint task force led by the 3 Group Development Authority has seized 3 manned diesel cargo trucks containing smuggled cooking oil at the Tetekwashi runabout in Accra. Leader of the task force, Paul Anane, says the national security operatives received notice about the vegetable oil being smuggled into the country from Togo in order to avoid paying taxes and import fees. He further cautioned criminal gangs to avoid these smuggling operations. Moving on, President Akufo-Addo has appointed Joe Gate as the new board chair of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Current member of parliament for Esando Ketan, Joe Gate replaced Dr. Tony Oten Jesse, who led the country's revenue mobilization effort, was dissolved by President Akufo-Addo on Thursday, 20th March 2024. This decision was made after a new board was reconstituted and inaugurated due to the resignation of the former GRA Commissioner, General Amasandu Owusu Amwa. Also, Member of Parliament for North Tone, Samuel Oku-Jeto Ablakwa, has indicated he will petition the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagben, to probe the conflict of interest allegations against the Agric Minister Brian Champon. The Social Security of National Insurance Trust decision to sell 60% of its interest in 4 hotels to Agric Minister Brian Champon's Rock City Hotel has generated controversy, with the MP for Norton petitioning the SRAJ on the matter. The trust fund says Rock City submitted the best and strongest financial proposal. Out of 6 shortlisted entities, the minister and Senate have subsequently denied any wrongdoing in the process leading up to the shortlisting of Rock City Hotel. But MP for North Tone Oku-Jeto Ablakwa says Brian Champon's denial is not convincing, hinting he is taking the matter a notch higher by petitioning the Speaker of Parliament to look into the matter.
Everything I put out in this petition has been confirmed by the Honorable Brian Champon. He has confirmed that he is a director, he is the sole beneficial owner of Rock City Hotel. The crux of my submission and my petition to SRAJ is that a Minister of State, a public official, should not go anywhere a state asset being sold. It's conflict of interest, it's abuse of power, it is unethical, it is reprehensible. And I have always maintained this position. You remember 16 years ago, I took the Honorable Jacob Echebelamte to court. He traveled all the way to the Supreme Court when I discovered that he was in the process of purchasing his official banger. My position has not changed. The attempt by the Honorable Brad Champon to say that he is not involved in day-to-day management. The issue is about the profits, the proceeds from that company. It's not going to go to the workers of Ghana. It's not going to come to members of parliament. It's going to him. He's the sole beneficial owner. It is also clear that he is in flagrant violation of Article 78(3) and 98(2) of the 1992 Constitution.
That was the Member of Parliament for Northstone, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, you heard now. The Food and Agricultural Minister, Brian Champon, has denied having any conflict of interest in the purchase of the 60% stake in hotels. According to him, he is not occupying any of these four offers for the profit of Rock City, even though he is the director. Speaking in an interview on the Super Morning Show on Joy News, he explained further.
I'm not occupying an office for profit in Rock City, and I am not receiving a monument.
You are the director.
But I am the director. I am the
from the corporation articles.
Hold on.
You are the director.
If you go to, hold on, be patient, please. If you go to Registrar General, the forms ask for 2 directors. I am one director and another person. But in the functional role that I will receive emoluments or occupy an office for profit in the organization, or my activities in the organization will prevent me from doing my work in Parliament or as a minister, does not come in. So being a director as per Registrar General's documentation and functioning as a non-executive director in the functional role are 2 different things. So Sami, you don't, and I have all the list of the NDC MPs who own shares in companies but don't have certificate from the Speaker because of their roles in these organizations.
He further expressed his dissatisfaction with the statement made by the Member of Parliament Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, stressing the need for him to have fact-checked before sharing any information.
I agree with you, except to say that even though the Supreme Court commended the action that you are taking, you lost the case at the Supreme Court. You always leave that one out in your conclusion. But what you have done, what you have succeeded in doing, is that you have tarnished Jacobite to its lamp-taste image. Throughout the process, you spoke on the matter, tarnished his image, and even now you are speaking about it, saying that the Supreme Court commended you. You always fail to act that you lost the case in the Supreme Court, and you tarnished a man's image. You went on and on and on and destroyed a man, and in the end the law backed him. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes if you consult, you will get the facts, and you will not destroy people. It's not easy trying to repair an image that you have destroyed with facts that are not true, with information that are not true. That is why I asked you that if you had spoken with me, you wouldn't have even gone this far. To the extent to which you want to damage my reputation and the brand of Rock City.
You heard the Food and Agricultural Minister, Brian Champon. Now, away from that, the Electoral Commission of Ghana has debunked allegations by a group known as Election Watch, indicating that the EC has been secretly registering voters. Speaking at a press conference at the EC corporate headquarters in Accra on Tuesday evening, the Deputy Chairman of Operations of the EC, Samuel Tete, you heard the Food and Agricultural Minister, Brian Champon. Away from that, the Electoral Commission EC of Ghana has debunked allegations by a group known as Election Watch, indicating that the EC has been secretly registering voters. Speaking at a press conference at the EC corporate headquarters in Accra on Tuesday evening, the Deputy Chairman of Operations of the EC, Samuel Tete, stated that the EC has been transparent with political parties and stakeholders in the ongoing voter registration exercise.
The attention of the Commission has been drawn to a press conference organized by a group called Election Watch Ghana, during which one Mark Ewuzi alleged that the Electoral Commission was using stolen biometric voter registration kits to register people secretly. The Commission urges the public to disregard these baseless and unfounded allegations as they are without merit.
He added that the Commission has never reported biometric voter registration kits stolen, but rather 5 laptops missing.
Describing the missing laptops as BVRs is a deliberate attempt by certain groups to deceive the public in order to sustain their unfounded allegations. As the Commission has previously explained, a biometric voter registration kit comprises several essential components: a laptop, a fingerprint scanner, a digital camera, a printer, a battery pack, a portable carrying case, and a backup storage device. These components must be activated all together for the kits to be used to register voters. We repeat, the 5 missing laptops on their own cannot be used to register voters.
That was the Deputy Chairman of Operations of EC, Samuel Tete, you heard. Now let's do some politics, because the leader and founder of the New Force Movement, Nana Kwame Bediako, popularly known as Cheddar, has reiterated he is serious about dredging the sea to Kumasi. According to him, water bodies serve great importance to individuals. In an interview on City TV, he underlined his commitment to this goal that is possible if elected.
To define you, to insult you, when you take decisions like this. My only problem is that the people who are saying that better be intelligent enough to do better than who they're trying to bring down. Now, talking about and everything, I think that there are a lot of learners in this country.
But did you say that? You said that?
Yes, I said it, and I'm giving you your explanations for everyone. Okay, there are a lot of people that have acquired degrees, including yourself, and a lot of people have traveled, and even if they haven't, because the biggest side, the biggest part of our population is the youth. I think that they're also enlightened to see that if you were to pick 50 best cities in the world today, press one button after one after one, all the 50 is developed around water. All of them. England, London, New York, Miami, Los Angeles, Dubai, you name it, Florence. It's all water. Water is life. It gives irrigation. It gives a lot of things.
Except sea water doesn't give irrigation.
Please. Let me finish, okay? Let me finish. You kind of remind me of...
That was the leader and founder of the New Force Movement, Nana Kwame Bediako, you heard. You are still listening to the 1800 News Bulletin on Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. We are going for a short breather. We'll be back with more stories.
to Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. Learning Care.
Welcome back from the breather. Up next is business news, and we have Peter Abuko.
In business, over 400 million liters of fuel are estimated to be at risk of not being transported from the various petroleum loading terminals nationwide as a result of the ongoing sit-down strike by the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union. This situation is poised to have a significant impact on around 3.5 million consumers across the country in the days ahead. The grievances of the tanker drivers trace back to November 2023, following the submission of a policy framework outlining the conditions of service for its members to the National Petroleum Authority for review and approval. The framework, crafted by a 21-member committee, is yet to be approved by the NPA board. However, it has been revealed that the board, in response to the policy framework, instructed the committee to make amendments without specifying the exact changes required, despite repeated requests by the committee for clarity on the amendments needed. No specific instructions were provided. In a related story, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies has expressed concern over the strike action by the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union regarding the proposed driver and mate remuneration framework. The association has warned that if the situation is not resolved, it could lead to the fuel shortage. They therefore clarify that the responsibility of determining and paying employee remuneration lies with the respective tanker owners, not the National Petroleum Authority, as the proposed framework seeks to do. That's all for business with me, Peter Aboko. Next in line is sports with Gabriel Jackson Okulu.
Sports, Black Stars head coach Lai Kingston has admitted Benin gave his team a tough time in their second group game at the ongoing Wafu B Under-17 Cup of Nations. Ghana scored 2 first-half goals to avoid any chances of early oppression from Benin as they held their endurance to seal the second win of the tournament. This win not only secured Ghana's position at the top of Group A, but also earned them a spot in the semi-finals of the Ghana Youth Tournament being hosted in Accra. Having scored 5 times against Cote d'Ivoire, the game against Benin had been predicted as an easy fixture. However, Lai was not flattered by the score, claiming it was a difficult game for his side. Still in sports, Croatian and Real Madrid midfielder Luka Modric has agreed to extend his contract and stay at Real Madrid for 1 more season. The Real Madrid midfielder, who seemed to have said goodbye to the club after staying for 12 good seasons, has now changed and accepted to renew his contract with the club for 1 more season. The agreement is absolute between Luka Modric and president of the club, Florentino Perez, for the continuity of the player in the club. The Croatian said yes, and after the meeting with the president, all that is left for the midfielder is to sign the contract for his extension in the club. Moving on, Brazil and Manchester City goalkeeper Edison Moraes is also one of the high-profile players to leave the club. Although Edison signed a contract extension expected to expire in 2024, he might leave the club if a huge offer above his market value comes. According to Mirror Sports, Edison Moraes is one of the players who seem to exit the club this summer in case market value increases. And to our last story, many Chelsea players are sad and disappointed with the club's decision on Pochettino. The Guardian has confirmed today Mauricio Pochettino never lost the dressing room, and several senior players were surprised by his exit and sad to see him go. From Palmer to Nico Jackson, from Cucurella to Moises Caicedo, many of them were surprised, showing that in their social media reactions. And that was it for sports with me, Gabriel Jackson Oklu. Sedinam Stephanie Kochima is coming your way with entertainment news.
In entertainment, Ghanaian rapper and songwriter Michael Owusu-Addo, popularly known as Sarkodie, is set to release a new mixtape called the Championship Mixtape on the 24th of May 2024. In an interview with YouTuber Adesope, he revealed the mixtape is to remind Sack Nation that he is still the greatest of all time in the industry and still knows what his fans love to hear from him.
Championship is just remind Sack Nation of I haven't left this. I know this is what you guys love. Still top of mind. Yes, I'm somebody that I know what my fans want. As much as I make my own decision as an artist and they trust it, but I know that they really want me to rap. No matter how big my song will get, it's not a Sack Nation song. Sack Nation wants songs that they feel like they're connected to it, and that's what the project is about.
You heard the voice of the Ghanaian rapper and songwriter Michael Owusu-Addo, popularly known as Sarkodie. Away from that, a family member of hip life musician Jerry Anaba, popularly known as Okonfo Kwade, Ezekiel Aguirre, has called on the public to offer financial support to the artist. Ezekiel, who spoke exclusively to Joy FM's Kwame Dazi, confirmed Kwade is currently in their hometown, Mirgu Nabangu, in the Upper East region. He stated that the Boys hitmaker is still battling mental health challenges but lacks the financial strength to pay for treatment.
Is that where Okonfotu is?
Yeah.
Please, is he your biological brother?
My father's brother.
For how long has he been with you there?
It's now getting to 2 years like that.
2 years?
Yeah, it's now getting to 2 years.
Because you all know that he lived in Kumasi.
Yeah.
What brought him there?
Not feeling well.
Oh, okay.
Not feeling well, but now it's somehow better. But we need all the Ghanaians, we need their help. Our brother now. So it's the way he's not supposed to be here, but because of the sickness.
When you say he's not feeling well, what exactly is wrong with him?
Sometimes he behaves like something is worrying.
Okay.
It always happen like sometimes, but not all the time. So he need let's say a treatment. By now he's in the house now. He's not supposed to be here, but he's not feeling well. We went to several areas, but all the money issues. So some of the things we can do it, but some of the things we can't do it because of money. All the things here, in Upper East region, nothing is there. Like how to do and get money and it's not easy. But we are managing small.
That was a family member of the musician Okonfo Kwade he heard. That is all for entertainment news with me, Sedina Stephanie Kochima. Margaret Ahenkai wraps the bulletin with some international stories. On the international front, greater spotted eagles, a vulnerable species, are changing their migration routes to avoid the war zones in Ukraine. According to scientists, the new study reveals that the war in Ukraine has disrupted the migration patterns of vulnerable greater spotted eagles, forcing them to take detours around conflict zones. In an interview with the lead study author Charlie Russell, a conservation scientist and ornithologist, he stated that when the conflict started in February 2022, they were kind of watching things unfold on the news like everyone else, but sitting there also with the feeling that we know our birds are about to pass through that area and wondering what that might mean for them. To our last story, former South African President Jacob Zuma has said the country's constitution must be changed after he was barred from running for parliament on Monday. Zuma told BBC the Constitutional Court was wrong to decide he was unfit to run based on his 2021 conviction for contempt of court. Ahead of next week's general elections, Mr. Zuma had been campaigning under the banner of the newly formed party. He joined the party after falling out with the governing African National Congress, which he used to lead. And that's all for international stories with me, Margaret Ayenkai. And this is how we wrap up the news bulletin on Radio GIJ 97.7 MHz. But before we take a leave of you, a recap of our headlines. Seek professional psychological help from licensed medical professionals and trained counselors. Dr. Isaac urges Cocoa Board terminates scholarship scheme, and Brian Champon denies conflict of interest in the purchase of 60% SNIT stake in hotels in business. Over 400 million liters of fuel estimated to risks of being transported from the various petroleum loading terminals nationwide. In the world of sports, Chelsea players are sad and disappointed with the club's decision on Pochettino in entertainment. Okonfo-Kwade needs money for treatment, family members urges. Once again, I am Ramat Bashiru. Enjoy your evening.